Your hair is static. Oh my gosh. How's your jacket? You like it?
Mommy.
And then clothes are optional to Brendan.
It's like popping in my ear.
What's that?
Oh, get cats. Nope.
Already.
It's bright. Oh my goodness. This is Colin Campbell. I think next week's shoe kind of picked itself. Today I went on my recovery run after setting a PR on a 10K. I actually broke 840 per mile yesterday for 6.2 miles in the Pegasus Turbo 2. But for today, I just needed a shoe just to really settle my legs down. I ran in the Altra Torin 4 Plush. 0 drop. My calves are feeling it now, but the upper, the toe box, my feet, couldn't be happier. Just dealing with some sore muscles today. So we'll get into the review next. To say the calves are sore would be an understatement today. Whatever this muscle is down below, I don't know where the soleus starts, Achilles, but after going to the Altras today, really need some foam rolling. This is a trigger point foam roller, works wonders. Take about 10 minutes. Everything worked out. So there's your Torin 4 Plush. I really like the landing area and all the flex grooves in the bottom of the shoe. Our Quantic midsole through here. So it used to be a straight EVA. It's a Quantic, and there's a strobel layer on top, which is a TPU layer on top. Let's see if you can actually see it in the shoe. So when I say strobel TPU, we're talking like your boost. You see the little foam pebbles almost. Picture through there. All right, I'm gonna get back to rolling this out. Catch you in a bit. Slow down. Slow down. Say hey, Ginger. They love you. Don't grab, just pet. Aw, sweet kitty.
Yeah.
Pressure's on. I'm watching you. Brendan. All right, YouTube. Taking the Altra Torin 4 Plush out for one more long run, then gonna finish up the review. I know it's been a couple weeks, but we had Thanksgiving holiday. I've been getting my mileage in, trying to get up over 20 miles a week. But I'm gonna do a long run in the Altra Torin 4 Plush today, finish up my thoughts on it. And I've been kind of reflecting on my first couple videos and how I can simplify the videos and make them more my own style. And I think I'm gonna be a little more concise with the discussion of the shoe. For me, big points on a shoe is how do I feel about the price of the shoe? What stands out as far as performance? Like what is the technology that feels different in this shoe versus any other shoe? The comfort is number one, and with the comfort, like how does the comfort compare to the weight? Like do I have a big slow shoe that feels amazing but I can only just barely get above a walking pace? Or do I have a really light, nimble, minimalist cushion shoe that I can fly in but my bones are aching after one run? So that's kind of important points for me. And the looks of the shoe maybe factors in, but mainly the comfort and weight, the performance, how do I feel about the price, and maybe some conclusion, overall thoughts, but that's the main points. But I think just going through the discussion of the upper and the midsole and all that, like it's helpful to some degree, but once you get your overall thoughts on the shoe, if someone has more specific questions, I think it's really easy to hone in on those. So thanks guys, we'll catch you after the run. All right, let me go through those 4 aspects of the shoe. So for the Altra Torin 4 Plush, on the comfort aspect, I would give it a 4 out of 5. The only thing I noticed in this shoe that I didn't like was it did feel like it bottomed out, the cushioning, a little bit in the heel. As long as I stayed up on a good 4-foot strike, I felt really supported, comfortable. But and it may be more the zero drop, because it does make you feel like you're sitting back, because you're used to having a shoe that's kind of has a drop to it, so it kind of angles you forward. Whereas this shoe, it's a minimalist feel, so everything's flat across the board. I feel like getting into it, it does feel like it bottoms out a little bit on the back side. That being said, the Quantic midsole is fantastic. It's a little softer than the last iteration, so the Torin's really comfortable, easy to get into. And then there's the 2 millimeter of the TPU layer on top. Does that do a whole lot? I don't know. It might. You can see the TPU little bubbles in the top. And Altra does have pretty substantial, nice cushioned insoles, which is a lot better than Hoka. Hoka gives you these paper thin, flimsy little insoles. But I do think, as I mentioned before, that I think the TPU layer might help kind of protect the Quantic, or the more of an EVA style. So that price point at $140, I would give that a 3 out of 5. If you can find it on sale for $120 or less, then that would jump up to a 4 out of 5, which I think you can find because it's been out for a while. So performance of the shoe. I do think the upgrades to the bottom, the outsole, with the rubber now, you still have the flexibility, but this is going to hold up a lot longer. The Quantic midsole, I'm hopeful that it lasts longer than the previous iterations of the EVA foam with Altra. I think Ginger Runner had commented, I'd noticed as well that the EVA did seem to bottom out. You reached kind of a dead end with the shoe, where it wasn't near as cushioned. As amazing as it would feel the first couple 100 miles, you would reach a stopping point. Other performance aspects, this shoe is, if you want to just put something on to get out and about, you're going to find yourself grabbing this anytime you're hurting anywhere. So it's very comfortable. There's nothing quite like the foot shape toe box in these shoes. As far as step-in comfort, you won't even notice it on your foot. There are some lockdown aspects with the laces. It reminds me of the ISOFIT from Saucony. You can get a more lockdown feel with this shoe than what I remember in previous iterations. The heel counter here, very flimsy up top, but the support, there's a couple little plastic, almost wings. I do feel stable in the shoe. And last and major point for performance, the weight of the shoe. It does feel moderately heavy. The knit used in the upper, it is a little bit warm. So it's working out great now that it's colder, down in the 40s today on my run. But when it was up over 85, 90 degrees, after about 3 miles, this thing did get hot. My feet got sweaty, and that does add some extra weight. So maybe that was more of why I'm not feeling as much weight with the shoe now as I did before. But overall, this is a step forward to me for the Torin line. I would go with the Plush. If I wanted a lighter weight version, I would go with something more stripped down like the Escalante or even the Duo. I know there's some issues with the collar around the Duo. It's very thin and potentially causing some irritation, but a much lighter weight shoe, a couple ounces lighter, in fact. So overall, excitement for the shoe. Do I find myself reaching for it? Kind of yes and no. I'd say 3 out of 5. It's almost like I need to be in a certain mood for this one. But when I am recovering or want to work my muscles, if my knees are sore, my shins are sore, this is my number one I'm going to go for. And honest to goodness, my legs feel great after, I guess, 5.5 miles this morning. And some hilly miles at that. So I do like the zero drop. I know a lot of trail runners enjoy Altra shoes, along with Hoka shoes, which Hoka is more of a 5 to 6 millimeter drop. But going up and down hills, that more natural strike, to me it's easier to gauge your landing, natural running form using a natural shoe. So it makes, so overall, 4 out of 5 for comfort, a 3 out of 5 for price point. And if you get it at a better price point, sub 120, I'd pump it to a 4 out of 5. Really a 4 out of 5 for performance, and I'm going to factor in weight with performance of the shoe, 4 out of 5. For the max cushion you're getting, it's not bogging you down too bad. This is going to fall in right there with your other maximalist trainers. And overall excitement for the shoe, am I going in excited to pick up the Torin 4 Plush to run? 3 out of 5. So that sums up to a 15 out of 20. So really a B, C plus, B minus offering. But for the function it serves, a solid shoe. So if you've never tried an Altra before, if you have any questions about it, transitioning into the shoe, it's really easy. If you're used to a higher drop shoe, you're just gonna gradually work up a higher percentage of your miles in the zero drop to really let the posterior chain of your legs, especially your calf muscle, your Achilles tendon, and even up to your hamstrings, kind of cope to that increased amount of work. As you're landing more forefoot, springing off, it's more tension on the posterior chain of your leg. So it's just simple science. As you can see, I've got the Christmas tree set up, the stockings, so it's already that time of year. I'm off this week from work, which is fantastic. My son's having a minor surgical procedure, routine surgery, but I'm hoping to get some more runs in and potentially another review this week. And I just wanted to comment on, I'm really enjoying the New Balance Fuel Cell Propel. The cushion's really livened up for me. I'm going to be to 50 miles on these probably well before the holidays. So I feel like my next review, I'm going to tackle the New Balance Beacon. I'll try to put a few original thoughts on the shoe. I know there's dozens of reviews out there, but maybe my perspective, someone can find just something that's different from anyone else's view on the shoe. So I did a 10K in the Beacon Saturday, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I just felt tired after all the pumpkin pie and apple pie and dressing and turkey. And maybe that was some of it, but I'm still going back and forth on my weekly schedule. Like, I want to run every day, but I know I need to recover. I need to do more HIIT training, weight training, speed work. I find myself, if I don't pay attention, I just get out and just go, and I go 3, 4, 5 miles, and I need to have more of a plan. So I am working on that. I'm not to the point of following a very structured program, but that may come in the near future if I do plateau out. But as of now, I'm still making progress on my mileage, my pace, my heart rate, my cadence, all of these things. So I'm still seeing myself reaching new levels, but I'm not an expert, and I may need to reach out or find a program to guide me a little further. So I know everyone's looking forward to the holidays. I hope you enjoyed my review of the Altra Torin 4 Plush. And please like, comment, subscribe, and happy running, happy holidays.